Hey Carol, can you hear me? Hey Carol, can you hear me? Hey Carol, can you hear me? No, it's a game called Dual Universe. It's a sandbox, and you have like I've built everything in here. I've built all the machinery that's in here. I've built and yeah, that's me. Hey, Mr. Sadie. Hey, Carol. Hey, Jim and Tara. I was just seeing if I could stream this game through EVMUX. I've never tried it before. So I thought I'd try it out and then I can play it back after a while to see how it works. Yeah, I'm playing in a sandbox. I I've always liked sandboxes. Not like not litter boxes though. To build everything you have to have ore, and to get ore you have to mine it. And I am looking for trying to set up again trying to set up a miner right now to do that. It can be what you're seeing on the screen right now, because I forgot there's a lag. Hold on a second. That's a miner. It's looking for ore. This is all ore. You take all the ore. Take all the ore, and it goes in these crates right here. And those are ore. Those are raw ore. And you bring them over here, and these are refiners. And it turns bauxite into aluminium. And that's out pure aluminium there. And then you take that and you run it through various and sundry machines, like all these machines down through here, and they all make stuff. They make duralumin, steel product, alloys, and you take all of that and you make all these machines. And I know it sounds mind-numbing boring, but it's really relaxing. There's probably about 65 people, I think, right now, but the sandbox is a whole planet. So there's people everywhere. And my base that you were just wandering around in is right there. And there's more planets all around. This is the solar system, and you can fly between planets. And this bubble is a safe zone. So there's no PvP, no, you can't attack people's ships. If you're out here in the main solar system, you can be blown up. So it's Minecraft on steroids. That's a ship. I have another one around here somewhere. Right there. Here, I'll show you another person's base. Like I said, I was just trying to see how this thing was. I was bored. I was gonna see how this thing, if I can stream through EVMUX. She doesn't play this game. She is actually playing a game on Steam. But I like these kind of games. This is somebody else's base over here. Or the making of a base. Here it is. Here's a big one over here. Hey, Dr. Fish. This is somebody else's base. And they've built all of this stuff. And some of this stuff takes hours to build. Which it's all done inside of these. Once you build these machines, then you set it up with schematics and it builds all this other stuff. That's what I do on my free time. And this is some more ships. The green block up there in the little circle at the top, that's my base. I own that hex. You can go to bases anywhere. Because I don't have a dual monitor setup, I'm having to use my tablet as a so I can see the chat. And if you look over there, you can see somebody's building a big base over there. Most people are just building these flat bases like you saw back there. I'm trying to build a town. This is Boxylvania. Because my character's name is Bento Box. Badoomba. So I'm trying to build a town here. And to get certain things, I have to keep building machinery, so I have to stop building. What fuel do I have? I got enough. No, I'm not the best pilot because my skills for piloting is not that big. So I could crash and burn. Mr. Sadie, you said you needed water. Here goes the water. And it's quite a big planet. I actually, back in my early days, I crashed. And when I crashed, I was way on the other side of the planet, and I res back at my base. That's what it does. And I just started my character running because you can auto run, and he ran about 4 hours to get back to where my ship was at. Yeah, I made it. I made it, and I didn't crash and burn. This is these are markets and just main bases. I need to run over to a different to a moon and check something over there. I'm using I'm doing it with the mouse. They just started creating the joystick controller for it. So um, this thing has been in beta. I started playing it when it was in beta, and now this is the actual game here now. But they're still developing all kinds of stuff. Now, these are pros that have built this. This is the actual developers that built all of this. So I know y'all are just thrilled to death about this, but that's a shuttle. You can take a shuttle and go between planets and moons. Yeah, I've got to get Arch HUD and install it. For the non people, I mean the non gamers here, it's just it's autopilot. You can do a lot of autopilot. Whereas the other place I was at, it was daylight. It's of course dark here. Outpost Fellow. That's where. When you start the game, you start at one of the moons, and they give you a nifty little building to start with. Deadline, do you play? Anywho, uh, I I don't have any ships nearby, and I'm only 4 kilometers away. My base is only 4 kilometers away from this base, so I can run over there. Well, I am Bento Box, and my Haven base is near um, Marketplace 1. That's Marketplace 1, and there's my base right there. The reason I want, the reason I would like to find out if this would run it or not, as you can see, I'm down in the corner. That's inside of EVMUX. And if other people were playing, even though we were not in the same map, if they were playing and they wanted to be in the chat, or they were playing at the same time I am, and they wanted to be able to chat, they could come in here and we could talk. Because this game, I enjoy this game, but there is no, I want to say fellowship, or there's not really a tight group of people. And the most of the fun is just being able to BS people while you're doing stuff. I haven't been over here in a while, so. Yeah, do that. Um, where the This is my poker, Mr. Sadie. I don't play poker. I play Dual Universe. And this border right here, just FYI, that's the boundary of my hex. I control everything in here. When you start a game, there's ore on top of the surface. I was just checking to see if they happen to repopulate it. They give you a handy dandy little building, but I've just kind of like mutilated it and kind of made it into my own little world here. These are containers. It's what stores everything. You make screws, you make pipes. It takes all of that kind of crap to make those all these machines. This wild room right here is the beginning of the Crazy Clown Mart. We'll have vendors for gas and stuff like that. And that's one of my other ships. This one's pretty spiffy. I try, Glock. I try. No eBay store. Yeah, you know, it used to, if you played back in the beta, it repopulated. Um, but they took that feature out. Haven 1. I have about 18, 19 hours of playing this game. I think that's what it was. Or maybe it was 18 days. of playing this, and that's nothing compared to some people. There's a guy I follow called Marquee Dragon, and he's got hundreds of hours playing this. It seems like it streams it pretty well. Yeah, Deadline, it's people have got to do something to keep people interested in it. And my base over on Alioth, I'd like for people to hang out there, just if they want to talk. And I'm doing a lot of running around. Normally I fly. Yeah, it's actually what it is. It's more like Tekkit, which was the add-on for Minecraft where you could build all the machines, and I like that game too. I like that too. I like building the machines. Um, and I do have a channel that for gaming. It's called Bento Box Gaming. There's nothing. There's only just a couple of things on it. Nothing important. So what's everybody else doing tonight besides watching me run around in a game? See, I can build like boxes and buildings and stuff like that, but getting fancy with the voxels, I've not done anything. I would just like to be able to make what would be a tank for like to sit around a container to store fuel in it, so it actually looks like a fuel tank, storage tank, and not just another container. But I just haven't got the skills yet for that. Um, Here, I'll show you some ships. I know y'all thrilled to death about this, but what the hey? These are ships. Everything's been built. They're all the voxels. Um, they might have a gadget that they can build them together quickly, but the original one of every one of these had to be hand built. Some of them are pretty cool. There are some really, really big ones here. I mean, big ones. Yeah, here it is. This is a small one here, and it cost 15 million Quanta, which is the currency in here. That's a lot, especially since they've got everything kind of dialed back about mining and all that kind of mess. That's the pilot seat right there. So anywho, let me get back to Alioth. And just so you know, there's a lot of work that goes into these ships. You have to compute um, the weight, the mass in regards to the gravity of the planets and whatnot, because they won't fly if they're not set up right. And the only way you can die in this game is if your ship blows up. They haven't built in any, damage into it yet. Like I just jumped off that big building. Where the hell did I park at? Damn, did I park that far away? Okay, that's that. Yeah, this is dual universe. Or that was dual universe. Uh, and of course, I can't remember to turn anything off. Deadline, when I log back in, I'm going to send a friend request if you want to friend. And if you need anything and I got it, I'll be glad to give it to you. Yeah, I'm looking back into the chat. Yeah, deadline. The orgs do hang out, but even those are not. Even those guys, I don't know. They just seem to all be losing. They all seem to be losing interest in it. Um, how many of these damn screens do I have up? So anyway, yeah, that's that. If anybody wants to come in and let's just chat and hang out for a while, I'm willing. I don't have anything else to do. I'd rather hang out with y'all. So that's the link. Good night. Hey, Mike. Hey, James. I should be plugging away at eBay, but I'm just not in the mood tonight. Yeah, where's the boat? There's actually a guy that has built a bass boat, Mr. Sadie. I'm looking back through the chat because it was so small I couldn't read it. Um, but the physics doesn't allow for floating. And I'm amazed that the thing runs as well as it does because I I'm just amazed that it runs as smoothly as it does. The game does because it can get it can get kind of complicated. Joanna, that is Dual Universe. It's a basically a sandbox. It's just went to alpha. Um, it's one of these build everything games. Everything's built in it by players and the developers. They've built a lot of stuff to get it going, but it's basically built by the creators. I We've got a bunch of those games. We've got a Need for Speed, and I like GTA 5. There's the link if anybody wants to come in and chat with me for a little bit.
Yeah, back here, wait.
There they are. I could actually hear you, Tara.
You can?
Yeah, when you were in the backstage, I actually heard you.
Oh, really? Oh my God, did you hear Jim? Because I'm like, oh my God, check your backstage, Tom. And Jim's like, oh, he does. He just doesn't want you in there.
Yeah.
No, she goes, I'm backstage. I'm like, he knows.
I'm sorry. I was reading the chat and
Oh boy.
trying to do multiple things at one time. It's hard for us old guys.
I know.
What are you
Oh,
doing?
Nothing. I was looking at some online auction stuff and nothing very exciting. I should probably be listing on eBay, but I just don't feel like it.
I wish there was a sport where you throw.
It makes you sound lazy.
You are lazy, mom.
I am lazy.
Wow.
Who are you talking, Todd and people?
No,
It,
Tom.
Or
it's
Todd?
lazy. It's lazy night.
I'm
I
lazy enough now to
my
remember
eyes
people's names.
sometimes at night, by this time at night, I don't know why I get like eye strain from the computer and I just don't feel like loading listing pages and typing on it.
Drink a Red Bull. Drink Red Line, you know that one?
Okay. Psst.
Is that
No, you seriously know
Brandon
what
talk
Red
about
Line is?
drinking red wine?
the
Red
wine.
Bull,
Oh,
which he
Red
doesn't
Bull.
drink. He doesn't drink energy drinks either, so.
What do you mean? I drink like 10 of them per day.
You do not. You're lying right now. You're lying.
What do you mean?
You're
How
lying.
What
can
do
you
you
tell?
mean?
Yeah,
What do you
it's
mean?
called you're lying.
I hope she feels better, Mr. Sadie.
Why
He
do you
said his
think
wife's sick.
that you
Okay,
think?
just watch your show and let Daisy in.
Go let the dog in because she's barking. Try the Blue Blockers. Do you remember the Blue Blocker commercial where they had the rap song?
Oh,
Remember the
this
guy?
guy was good.
Yeah, he was. I don't really remember the words to it. You can probably look it up on YouTube, but he did the Blue Blocker rap.
Yeah, and then they ran that commercial like crazy. It was just spontaneous.
Oh, those things were everywhere.
Yeah. The
Weren't they
commercial
put out
was
by
on like
Ronco?
300 times a day.
What commercial?
Weren't they
The one with
originally
Mr.
put out by
Tosh?
Ronco? Y'all remember Ronco?
You tell them about the two
The
moms.
Sledge-O-Matic, the Ronco Chop-O-Matic,
Yeah, and the Pocket Fisherman.
the Pocket
boy.
Fisherman. Yeah.
The Pocket
It's a Ron Peel pocket fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all that kind of crap back then.
Bronco.
And the album compilations,
Mm-hmm.
they did they had the top
What's that
hits.
music
Christy Lee or Christy.
Oh, that singer
Christy,
Christy
there's a Christy
Lane.
Lane.
Christy Lane, I think.
Yeah, it's One Day at a Time, I think, is her big song. She sings one day at a time. But they were running those Christy Lane, she did some gospel and some other country songs or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. And they got a picture of her from like 20 years earlier because I saw an actual picture of Christy Lane. I'm like, oh my God, she's looks like she came over on the Mayflower.
Oh boy.
Oh, I tell you what. Speaking of, I guess are we really talking about resale? But
Do we ever really talk about
because
resale?
we're kind of in the. We got all these We got this one thrift store. It's got all these old timey weird bluegrass and gospel. These people where they went and you go someplace they cut a record for you.
Yeah.
These like one-off.
Yeah, like
performers.
local recording studios.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And we never had nothing like that in Wisconsin. Well, I guess you're down here near Nashville, so people do that kind of stuff.
Hey, no, I like bluegrass.
You like bluegrass?
I like
like
bluegrass. The more twang to it, the better it is. Joanna, is it cold up there where you're at, honey?
It says to Mr. Sadie has a signed Crystal Gale photo, but it says to Steve. Well, change your name to Steve, or say it's your middle name. Say it's your middle name.
That's just what Crystal calls me.
Yeah, that's what Crystal calls me. Sorry, guys.
Is that what that's what he's wearing in Talladega Nights?
Yeah, Crystal Gale shirt.
I'm pretty sure my Crystal is carrying the cougar ripped it up.
Yeah.
That game, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. Ricky Bobby, 2 first names.
I like when he gets his arm broken over the crate.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Speaking of signed stuff, so I'm in town and I'm walking around. I'm looking at baseball caps. Got a John Conley signed trucker hat signed by John Conley.
And I have seen John Conley live.
And it's Jim snagged it on me. He didn't let me list
Damn
it.
straight. No, that John Conley hat's going nowhere.
Is that a entertainer?
Yeah, it's a country
Yeah,
singer.
he sings Rose-Colored Glasses, the old school. He's a country singer, and I drive a common van because I'm a common man.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I drive a common man.
He's got a lot of hits.
I'm a common man.
Yeah, John Connolly actually, and in live he's good. I had a couple cocktails, and we're out in the crowd. It's a big country fest or whatever, and I go to my brother. It's late. It's getting late at night too, and I go, oh my God, Sean. I go, this guy sounds just like John Connolly. He looks at me and goes, you dumbass, it is John Connolly. I was so piled up I didn't even know. I'm like, oh my God, I think I might have started crying. Anyway, it was pretty good.
Oh boy.
You're not riding this weekend?
I'm not what?
Riding?
I did today.
Well, I meant
There
competition.
ain't no horse shows going on, really.
Okay.
Well, there was a horse show up in Shelbyville last weekend. It was too damn cold. They decided not to go, which was fine with me.
Now you're riding somebody else's horse.
Yeah, I don't have a horse of my own to show. I tried to outbid.
Well, you need to get you one.
I know that's what I told Jim, but he's dropping the ball on me.
Bid fast, bid last, and you'll win the horse.
Well, you'll have to get that pole building put up for you.
Yeah, really, we got to get the barn up, I think, before. Because she would have had to board it there, too. We had to look at that cost, too. The boarding at the farm, too. It was the other thing. So it would be better. We just need to get that barn up, and then we'll be better set up. And actually, the prices are coming down because construction's slowing down, so the prices are coming down.
Actually, building prices for pole barns, I will say the prices have come down from where they were like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think I said it today on the Todd show, or maybe it was yesterday. My niece is building a house, and they're finally getting started on it, and the price of materials for their house is down $25,000 or $30,000 cheaper than it was when they started putting the deal together last year.
Hmm.
Because prices are
I think Mr. Sadie wants to come in.
yeah, I just saw that.
Sounds like he's driving.
He's
Well,
drying clothes.
Sounds like he's driving a semi truck right now.
Crystal Gale.
Oh, there's his Crystal Gale picture. Oh, nice, classic.
Now that Crystal Gale Loretta Lynn's sister
Baby
or
sister.
cousin or something?
Oh, little baby sister. I don't know what her real name is because I believe that would be like her performer name. I don't think her name was Crystal. I don't think that's her like government name.
Yeah, I don't think it was the Don't Make My Brown Eyes Blue. That was his song. I think, yeah. I don't know what else.
I just watched Coal Miner's Daughter the other night talking about Loretta Lynn.
I'm a coal miner's daughter.
It's my favorite movie when I was a kid. I've watched that movie at least 400 times.
Oh, he's got Loretta Lynn too.
Oh, he's got Loretti. Oh,
We
Loretti.
got a signed
Oh,
book
nice.
with her and Conway.
Oh yeah, I do have a signed book that her and Conway signed. When I first started dating Jim, he drove around this junky Jeep and it was always bouncing around and everything. And I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in the Coal Mine Daughter movie, you know, when like Doolittle's driving crazy with that Jeep and she's always hanging on for dear life. And that's what I felt like when I first started seeing Jim.
It's what's a loafing shed?
It's a lean-to.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I got that for the horses are outside, but I mean, the kind of horse I want to buy is a show. It has like show shoes on and stuff. You can't really turn them outside.
You know, we got 4 outside already.
Mr. Sadie is the boss lady going to be okay?
Okay, so Crystal Gale's real name is Brenda Gale Webb. So she's little Brenda. She was born in 1951.
You see what James said? He says, I guess he's talking about your horse with the shoes on. He says kind of like owning a car you can't drive in the rain. Oh,
Well,
he's got-
because these are made for like just showing and going in the ring, so you can't really turn them loose. They got these special shoes they wear.
Mr. Sadie, is that your collection?
He's got this Three Stooges signed by the Stooges.
Carol says that's a picture of Todd, Sadie, and Tom. They'll kill me. And I remember when you used to watch that, we'd watch those shows all the time. Roberta can't stand them.
Who's that?
Oh, Three Stooges.
Oh, I love Three Stooges.
Yeah, I'm not into the Three Stooges either.
How could you not like the Three Stooges?
I don't know, I'm just not into
When
that.
you were a little kid?
Nah,
And she
just
doesn't
not
like
really
Gilligan's
into it.
Island either.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
didn't like Gilligan's Island?
She doesn't.
Gilligan was just so damn stupid and irritating.
That was
Oh, he was pretty dumb.
that was good TV, baby.
Yeah.
That was good TV. It's so y'all got a lot going on this weekend.
Dude, Brandon's got archery tournament on Saturday, and not really too much. Nothing very super exciting.
I ate a half a bar of soap because of Gilligan's Island.
Oh God, you and the soap.
Okay, tell us that story.
Well, I saw the episode where he accidentally swallows a bar of soap, so then every time Gilligan talks, bubbles come out his mouth.
Right.
So I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. So I go in the bathroom, bar of soap, cake of soap there on the edge of the sink. I bit off about half of it, chewed it,
Ugh,
swallowed
good
it.
grief.
It tasted not good. Anyway, and then here's the worst part. When you swallow soap, when you talk, bubbles do not come out. You get a bellyache and your mouth tastes terrible. I was eating maraschino cherries. I was eating
Ugh.
mustard on American cheese. I was trying
How old were
everything
you?
to try to get that soap taste out of my mouth.
How old were you?
Probably about
20.
8 or 9.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
go. It was my senior year in college.
See, I was afraid he was going to say that, Tara. He was going to say, well, I was in college.
It was when I was married to my first
Yeah,
wife.
his first son was about 9 months old. And
No,
he
it's a house on
decided
the. Well, I grew up on a house on the river, on the Eagle River, and it was at that house. We moved out of that. We'll be right when I went in high school. So I was probably 8 or 9 years old. I was a pretty young kid. Probably old enough to know not to eat soap, but not, you know what I mean. On the edge of being old enough not to eat soap,
Right.
or known better.
I tell you what, being on the river.
You know, I believed it though. I saw it on TV. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Soap makes bubbles. Then when you talk,
Oh,
bubbles come
good
out.
grief.
It actually makes
You
sense.
should have drank like dish soap, then you probably would have blew bubbles.
It's a damn good thing he didn't drop an anvil on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the cartoon stuff I didn't believe, but I guess Gilligan's Island was seemed realistic, you know.
Wow. I base all my decisions on Gilligan's Island episodes.
You know, like when you're older and you watch the episodes, it's like, hey, wait a minute, they're on a sound stage. They're not even on an island.
Mm.
Yeah. I liked old Gilligan.
Walking around a bunch of potted plants.
Good TV.
Yeah.
Good TV. Now everything's so
What the
weird.
guy- was it Schwartzman?
He's the same guy who did the Brady's Bunch. Yeah, was it Schwartz or
Norman Schwartzman or something? It was something like,
Schwartzberg?
whatever.
Oh.
No, I think it was Schwartzman, but anyway, yeah, it was that old campy. It was kind of almost like vaudeville humor.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you won't see that come back. But well, if you have American movie classics, if you either have it or you do the $5 a month thing or whatever, that's what I do. For AMC, they have this thing, Kevin Can F Himself. It's a show on there.
Right.
It's weird. If you get a chance, watch that. It's a good show. Because I'm like, this doesn't look like my kind of thing. You know, is it like a love story? What the hell is this? It's weird because it goes in and out.
Oh, he's got a Kiss poster. Oh man, you're really
Oh,
bringing
wow.
out the whole collection.
Goes back and forth between like a 1980s sitcom and being like this really dark thing where she's actually trying to kill the guy. And it'll actually, like, the camera, it's like a shot. They must use like video or something. The picture is different when she walks. When she's doing something nasty, like she's planning to kill a guy, she'll walk into a room. It'll be dark, and then when she walks back out, then it's the laugh tracks on again,
yeah.
and it's bright again.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
I'm gonna say I liked Mary Ann better than I did Ginger on Gilligan's Isle.
Oh, you liked her because she was farmy and smart.
No, I'm straight up Ginger.
Are those?
I redhead.
Well, you got a lot of Kiss posters.
I was never too big into Kiss.
Yeah, me neither. Well, I was a little young for Kiss. Jim was more Kiss age than I am.
Kiss was the real first rock music that I listened to.
I can't respect anybody that paints their faces up like that. And like the one guy had his face was painted like a cat or something. How can you ever take anybody
Who is that?
serious?
I know,
When you have somebody with their face painted like a cat.
he looks like you want to give him a
Yeah.
saucer of milk.
Anyway. I mean, do you think like the girls, you know, like the groupies and stuff was like, oh man, if I could just hook up with a guy with his face painted like a cat.
Taco cat. Cat taco.
Who's that? Oh, Great White. There you go.
Roberta was into the hair bands,
Oh.
Poison, all of those.
Your Poison was good. That was when I was in high school. Guns N' Roses was when I was in high school.
You and Roberta aren't you?
I'll be 50 in May.
Okay, you're not in the same. Because Roberta's like 54.
She's only 4 years older than me.
No, 50.
But
She's
she would have been going out of high school when I was going in.
When I was landscaping, I had the kids would bring boom boxes with the. I mean, I was out of high school when Guns N' Roses came along, but I did have it at work, so that's how I found out about it.
Mm.
I'm like, what is this? These guys are
Guns N'
screaming.
Roses, yeah, that was good. And then after I got out of, like, at the end of high school, like maybe senior year right out of high school, I was really like into like Nirvana and stuff. Yeah,
Hey,
like that
yeah.
grunge stuff.
I
going
saw
on.
him in concert.
Kurt Cobain and Nirvana.
No, Barry Manilow.
Oh, Barry Manilow.
Girl
Hey, you got
like-
any? Hey, if
the
you
girl-
got any Tony Orlando, I was picked up and carried by Tony Orlando when I was about 4 or 5.
I was dating a girl and she was really into Barry. She loved him. AC/DC.
I sat through like a 4.5 hour Neil Diamond concert, so
Oh, good grief. AC/DC.
How long?
4.5
about
hours.
4.5 hours.
Oh my God.
Because he's got these young people with him. This would have been like in the late probably around '89. He's got these young people with him, and then they're doing their own thing, you know, too, like kind of like the guy from Branson, Mickey Gillies.
Yeah.
You know, he'll have these younger people fill in the show or whatever. But it just went on and on, and these guys like holding hands in the audience at the.
Oh,
it was at
good grief, not hand
It was at the
holding.
Mecca in Milwaukee, and if you ever been in the Mecca or a stadium like it, it's where they have the really steep seats. You feel like if you're gonna roll right off this cliff. I don't know if you ever been in an arena like that where the seats are really steep. You know, it's a really steep thing up the. You know, it's not gradual. Well, anyway, so I got us all packed in there like sardines, and he's like tells us, okay, hold hands with the person next to you. So I'm like, what? And all of a sudden people are grabbing my hands. I'm like, no.
No, not
I
hand
don't want people
holders.
touching me. in
Get
my
away
space
from
bubble.
me, you dirty hand holders.
It was good for about the first
You have-
hour. Then after that, I mean, I was ready to go.
Do you
Get
have
the wrap
those
it up.
framed?
What?
I asked him if those were framed. No, or was it? That's just
That's
the
got
way
a
that.
frame on it. Isn't it? Or is it a book?
It is a book.
Oh. Looked like a frame.
It did.
That's cool.
Is anybody a Elvis fan?
Not really. I mean, you gotta respect Elvis. He was a good artist and stuff like that, but I'm a little young. I'm a little too young for Elvis.
I like Elvis. I think he did some good. I mean, he's got some good work. But I was in '77. I was like 11, 12 years old. So
I was 4.
See, I don't have a clue who they are.
And my mom didn't listen to Elvis.
my aunt. Was
I don't
a big
know who
Elvis
that
fan,
is.
but
What does
my
it
mom was
say?
into the Beatles more.
Hugh.
My
Lou.
my ex sister-in-law, she went with a bunch of girls to see him in concert in Charlotte, Elvis,
Oh, really?
and she always made fun of them because they would talk about they start crying and all this kind of stuff. Good evening, Blended. And she said she got there and he started performing, and she said, I'm so ashamed of myself. She said, I started
Crying.
shaking and I started crying.
Oh, boy.
And I said, why? Was it
Oh,
that
that's
bad?
bad.
She says,
That's
no, you
hard.
just get caught up with the, from Dancing with
Mass
the Stars.
hysteria.
You just,
Well,
yeah,
like,
you
you
just
ever
get
see
wrapped
those
up in
films
it.
where, like, when the Beatles came to the U.S. and you'd have these girls, like, fainting and crying and acting hysterical. So I suppose you get, like, involved with some kind of mass hysteria event. He just sweeps you away.
It happens to me at the strip club.
Yeah.
He hasn't come back yet. You know, he went away on a UFO.
Oh, he flew away on a spaceship.
Yeah.
We were at this country concert and Mickey Gilly was there. But Mickey
Oh, man.
Gilly's getting older. So
She was hammered.
you were hammered too. So I this thing. He's like trying to do his thing. I'm like, oh man, this show sucks. It just sucks. I'm like, he's a Branson robot. Yeah, except then about Jim and a group of people around us started, chanting Branson robot, Branson robot. And then, so people are like, no, we have to leave. This sucks. And I'm like, no, I refuse. I like Urban Cowboy. I'm going to listen to this concert till
Now
the
we're not
end.
alone at this concert. There are other people
Yeah, no.
trying to listen to Mickey Gilley while this is going on.
Mickey Gilley. Did he actually sing?
Yeah?
Yeah, he sang some, but he would bring in like other artists to help him because we went to see George Jones too when he was up in Wisconsin, but George Jones was getting older at the time, so he would do that too where they'd bring in like other younger artists, and they would have
He
them
needed a break.
fill in, or if he took a break, he'd have him sing a couple songs. But actually, George Jones was pretty good because he was like, he kind of joke around. He's like, my voice ain't what it used to be, so I have to take a little break. And he was trying to make like, he made a joke because he was marketing his own sausage,
Yeah.
wasn't he? Like,
But I didn't know where to
Jimmy D.
buy it. I would have
Yeah.
bought it to help him out. I mean, honestly, he's talking about something.
Okay, well, how the hell are you gonna help out George Jones
Well, if
by
everybody
buying
bought a little bit of
$20
George Jones'
worth of
sausage, you wouldn't have to be
sausage?
performing it. We're in this place, this casino, in this
casino.
small room. I mean, for George, it was terrible.
It was
there
an
wasn't that
Indian
many people
casino.
there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this is just
It
horrible.
was good seats though.
But I mean, in the audience, he'd like trip up or something, say, "Oh, I just need a little break," and you'd hear women screaming, "We don't care, we love you, George." I mean, they were into it. It was good. I really like George Jones. Yeah, and he was
an Alabama
a pretty nice
fan.
guy.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, Alabama tickets. Well, there you go. You got a whole bunch of inventory to list.
Dang. I think that's
Yeah,
his
Alabama,
collection.
not a huge fan. But
I like
I think-
Alabama.
I think
they're
that's
too poppy.
I think that's Mr.
I like
Sadie's
a lot.
collection.
There's a lot of Alabama songs I like.
Mr. Sadie, before you do your camera, when you turn your camera back on, how about either nod your head, yes, that's from your collection, or no, that's something that you're going to sell on eBay.
Oh, I'm watching on the YouTube, so I'm on a delay. That Kentucky Headhunters song where it goes like, "Let's all go down to Dumas
All for sale.
Walker's." Anyway, that restaurant, Dumas Walker's, is like, I don't know, 25 minutes from my house. I want to go eat there one day.
I looked it up because I'm like, yeah, the Kentucky Headhunters. I wonder if that's around where we are. It's a town we take our FedEx to
Yeah.
for deliveries. I couldn't
Can
believe
you
it.
got your shoes on?
Yeah, well, you need your phone.
No, I couldn't con you into grabbing that bottle of aspirin off the dashboard of the truck, could I?
Sure.
Thanks.
We went and saw a group of friends. We went and saw Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, that would be a good concert to go
Oh
to.
no, he was so effed up.
I don't care. I still
that
like
he
it.
didn't even make it through his first song, I guess it was the concert producer or whatnot came out there and said, "Folks, we're going to refund everybody's money. This is not going to go on." He couldn't stand up. He was so messed up.
Oh boy,
Who was it?
Hank Jr.
Oh,
Hank Williams
was he
Jr.
drunk?
Yeah.
Good man.
He was messed up.
Yeah. I saw Travis Tritt, and my sister-in-law and my brother were there, and my sister-in-law were walking away from it, and she goes, "I didn't like him. He wasn't animated. He just sat on the stool and played the guitar and sang songs. I didn't like him. He didn't like move around and stuff." I'm like, he don't have to dance around. He's Travis Tritt, for crying out loud. Like, what do you think this is? A Disney show? It's bad.
I go watch
No
Hank.
respect.
I go to a Hank #3 concert.
Oh yeah.
Those would be
Oh, yeah.
wild.
You better bring brass knuckles
Yeah.
and plenty of meth for everybody.
It's I can't remember. I think it was it Chris Cross or something like that sang "Selling" or "Sell Away" or something.
Yeah, that was Christopher Cross.
Yeah, Christopher
I
Cross.
thought you meant crisscross the hip hop pop band.
No,
like,
he's talking about
Tom's going
Chris,
to crisscross.
Christopher Cross.
Crisscross.
No, I'm talking-
Remember he was like Kid and Play. It was
Or
around that time.
sailing,
Oh,
sailing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Cartman's favorite song. Anyway, he caught when he first started doing live shows. He got chewed out because he just got up there and sang.
Mm.
He didn't hoochie coo or any of that kind of stuff. He just got out there and sang. And they said that his concerts were boring.
Mm.
If I'm spending $150 to go to a concert,
Oh wow, Mr. Sadie's Merle Haggard was married to his wife's aunt. Well, that's pretty cool.
dang, Mr. Sadie,
Mr.
that was
Sadie's
his.
almost like a country music legend here.
Was that Merle's fifth wife or your aunt's fifth husband? It's our our arena, I think, just about went belly up during the pandemic because nobody could do live shows.
Oh yeah. Well, you can imagine what the holding cost is on a big venue like that between insurance and property tax and if they have a mortgage on it or any of that stuff. Too many Mr. Sadie can't type or spell. Sounds like he's been hitting the Michelob Ultra too heavy
That's
tonight.
right. He's popping
That's
the
why
top.
he's just thanks. Yeah. Boone County mating call.
Oh Lord. How many this coming summer y'all going to be able to get the rest of your stuff from up in Wisconsin?
Depends on how much the gas diesel prices are.
Well, no, we won't get it done this year, but we'll get a big hunk out.
You don't have much left up there, do you?
Not too bad.
I got vehicles though, and at my trailer I can only haul one vehicle at a time, so they got that. And then there's there's always wrap up. You think you punch big holes in it, but then when you get done, you gotta. It's gonna be another summer because we can only do it during the summer really.
Right.
Because you can't get in there in the spring or fall. I can get in there up until Thanksgiving, and then it's snowed in.
You got rid of your RV, didn't you?
Probably not. My kid sold his house. He wants to move to Waukesha County, so he's in an apartment now, and they're looking for a different house. They closed on there, so now, and and I don't know if he's going to be able to keep it there or whatever. So
Right.
I might have fallen through.
How far is that away from where your property is?
Like south.
So I'd still have
He's just north of Milwaukee.
If I can get the thing up and going so it'll go 4 hours, I can get it up and going where it'll go all the way here. So, and she told me I could keep that one if I got rid of the other one. So
I told you if you got rid of that one, you could buy a different one.
yeah, I like the one that I got.
The RV?
Yeah,
The GMC?
yeah. Tara hates all
She hates all what?
motorhomes. Tara doesn't like them. She don't understand them.
Why?
I don't know. It's a good question. Tara, why don't you explain? Did you break that footstool?
No, it's just tipped.
It looks broken.
He's
Why
like,
don't you go away and mind your own damn business instead of looking at my business?
Oh no, I guess it ain't broken.
Yeah, you see, and you tipped it up again.
but you only
Because
have.
we don't go camping. We don't go camping in an RV. And if I want to then I'd rather have a living quarters horse trailer, and we could use the horse trailer, and I could do stuff with my horse, horse stuff with it, or you could put ATVs in the horse part of the horse trailer, and then just go do something like that. But he always wants to drive me around in some kind of rolling sepulcher of death that's going to break down somewhere along the way. Because you don't travel with Jim. I do. And he does crazy shit. and stuff gets broke down, and then you got to deal with it. And if I'm going to be on a relaxing vacation, I don't want to deal with crazy stuff.
Now, when y'all if y'all head to Florida, Sasha, would you bring me a glass of pop in there, please? Would you bring me a glass of Diet Pop? When y'all travel, like if you were to head to Florida, do y'all rent a car?
To the airport.
Sometimes.
Oh no,
Well, we
no,
did.
we drove to the airport.
Yeah, we rented. Well, when we moved Jim's, no, if we were gonna drive to Florida right now, we'd just take our own car because then we have our own car to drive. We're only 12 hours to Orlando. Then we have our own car to get around Florida or do our own stuff. But
We were if we're like when we picked up the
No,
pickup
that's what
truck.
I'm talking about. When you drive to Florida, do you drive whatever
yeah, whatever car
vehicle
we
you
have. I
Okay.
mean, when we moved Jim's mom and sister
We
up
rented
here,
a car
we
for that.
rented a car because on the way back, Jim was driving a U-Haul and I was driving Grandma's car. So
This way it was cheap, and it was cheap to just rent the car and just drive it one way and drop it off.
yeah, we only had it for like I don't know, 15 hours or something.
If you're going to travel, renting a car is cheap, because the whole idea of the rental car is they think you're going to keep it for like a week, and that's where it gets expensive.
Right.
Yeah, if you just keep it one day, I mean, we turned the car in before 24 hours.
I think it cost us like $60, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Or maybe 50.
we drove it 12, 13 hours to get to my mom's house, and then bright and early the next morning, we're taking it back to Alamo and turn back in at the airport.
Tara,
And my sister and my mom and her. Well, my brother-in-law doesn't really drive, but anyway, there's cars there that we could use and whatever. So we didn't need to keep it. So, but it's not. I don't see how it's cost effective if you're going to be somewhere a week and then keep the thing rented. That don't make sense to me.
I mean, unless you don't trust your car to go that far, but.
Oh,
I mean,
Mr. Sadie, I agree. Travis Tritt is awesome, especially right after you get divorced. Oh man, you can't get enough of him.
Tara James says you could let the horse live in the RV so its feet stay clean.
Yeah. No, I have a horse trailer.
I don't want no horse coming nowhere near my RV.
My brother and his wife have a horse trailer with, I think it's a 4-horse trailer, and then they've got the dressing room camper part in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And that when they go camping, even if they don't take horses, they just drag the horse trailer along.
I have a 3-horse, and mine does have, it's a gooseneck, but it has the big tack room in the front that you can make into a camper, and
Right.
I never did that. And it has like the spot where you put the air conditioning unit on the top. And I told Jim, I said, I think I would like to maybe think about insulating the walls and finishing that off. So if I was somewhere, I could, sleep in it and have air conditioning.
Right. Well, Jim don't have anything else to do, so he can jump on it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually have a spare rooftop unit that works, so I can put it on there.
Like an RV type.
Yeah.
AC.
Yeah, it came off a pull behind camper, because that GMC I have is not really a motorhome. It's what they call the trans mode.
Right.
It was made by GMC to be a commercial vehicle for like this one. They made ambulances out of them and a whole bunch of different applications. There were non-RV, non-motorhome applications. Well, anyway, so it had no furnishing in it, so I needed a fold-out bed, and so the guy I got it from actually had this camper that he was going to use to. It was a brand new camper that had never been used. It got hit when the people were bringing it home from buying it, so it was in the wreck, and he wound up with it. But most of the furnishings and stuff in there was good, so I wound up stripping that down and putting those furnishings like the refrigerator. But I didn't need the air conditioner because it already has 2 air conditioners. So it's set up. One air conditioner runs off the landline, and then the other or the shoreline, and then the other air conditioner runs off your generator. So whatever situation you're in, because one rooftop's more than enough to cool the thing. It's like 26 feet long.
Now you've
So
got
you
a
don't
couple
need
of
both AC
CJs
units
up there
going
you
at
got to
once.
bring down, don't you?
What'd you say?
You got a couple of CJs up there you got to bring down, don't
Oh,
you?
yeah, Jim and his Jeeps.
The Jeeps I might be able to get two Jeeps on that trailer though.
Yeah.
Once.
We bought a flatbed trailer. I mean, and honestly, the two Jeeps, you might be able to put both of those up on that flatbed trailer.
You need to get one of them running before Brandon starts driving.
They should. One needs a voltage regulator, and the other one ran. It just from sitting, the brakes were seized up, but I drove it in the back where it's at. So I mean, it's got one of those 2.5 liter GM motors from the 80s. It ran good.
Because
I mean, it wouldn't take much to get either one of them running.
Yeah, one is. What are they? They gotta be like 78.
No, one's a 81 and one's a 76.
Oh,
It's the Golden Eagle. The one, the 76 has got the eagle on the hood, and
Right.
had it painted over it, of course. But and it's got the
Yeah.
Levi seats with the Levi rivets are in the upholstery of the seats.
no.
the boys
Those are
that the boys in high school that had the fancy like the Levi Jeeps and whatnot, they were all pretty boys.
Mhm.
The real boys,
That's
the real
that's
boys
how I
had the
describe-
CJs that had that had metal floor in it, no carpet. Or I think we all got together and went and got a roll of that green astroturf and put down in the bottom of them.
And that would be my 81. It's got rubber floor mats. That's it. If you take out the rubber floor mats, it's bare steel. There's no like rubber flooring on it or anything.
You
It's
know,
all your interior is all metal.
we had
Yeah,
the best time with those
We got a
things.
1965 Scout too. It's like the Burt Reynolds Scout in
Oh, man.
Deliverance.
Is that not worth a bunch of money?
I don't know. It had a plow on it. I got it for free, and we'd use it to plow snow up north and stuff. But I mean, I'm sure it's worth something, but I don't think it's worth a bunch of money.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, when you start hauling all those Jeeps down on that flatbed, you need to make sure you make a video, reactivate your channel.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll take a video of him when he's like something's wrong and there's like flames coming out from under the trailer or something, and he's squirreling around on the side of the interstate somewhere looking like a nut.
Oh, I love you, Tara.
He was bringing home. I have this little 12-foot flatbed trailer. He was bringing that home with some stuff loaded on it like a year ago or whatever. Pulling with the box truck, and this guy down here is south of Louisville keeps coming up and like, was he flashing his lights or blowing his horn?
Waving his arms at me.
Waving his arms. It's just like, what is with this person? Why is he bothering me?
And I'm like, because I got to climb this hill with this truck. I can't pay attention to his
So-
dumb ass.
So Jim, finally, the guy rolls his window down, and Jim rolls his window down. He goes, "Hey, man, you only got one wheel on your trailer because the road's real rough down there south of Louisville. One of the trailer tires came completely off, dragging it up.
Yeah, you got the president of the United States. What was where by where they're doing that bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the president of the United States in Kentucky talking about how great it is that they're going to redo some dumb, stupid bridge over by Cincinnati. That's great. What they ought to do is the feds ought to come and fix I-65. Fix I-65.
Oh my God, yeah, south of Louisville is so
You
bad.
could drop a car in the
Yeah.
potholes. I mean, it's like worse. They made fun of the Autobahn that was so bad you couldn't drive. You know, there's no speed limit, but you couldn't drive over 40 anyway because the road was so bad. I-65. I mean, they keep doing road construction and it just keeps getting worse. It's bad.
That's all I'm going to say about
You're
that.
talking about the trailer tire. A friend of mine's daughter, she's about 17. She and some of her girlfriends had been to the mall, and they were headed back home about 9:30 at night. They had a blowout on the tire on her mom's. It was I think it's a 530 or something like that convertible, BMW convertible, and instead of stopping, she just turned on her flashers and drove the rest of the way home. By the time she got home, he ended up, of course, having to buy a new tire because there was no tire. But it had messed up the rim, and so instead of just buying a $200 tire, he ended up having to buy a $600 rim. For
Oh
the
yeah, you can't
$200
drive on it when your tire goes. Yeah, you can't go very far before you wreck your rim.
And he said, "Why didn't you call me, and I would have come change the tire for you?" Well, I didn't want you to have to get out.
Yeah, and
he
they're
said,
probably expensive rims on that BMW.
yeah, it was like $500 or $600.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a real pretty
because they're
boy car.
probably like aluminum rims or something, or what's that other stuff that magnesium?
Magnesium.
Yeah, but he did. He said, "Well, baby, you're going to end up paying for that damn tire." I mean, not the tire, the rim. He said, I'll take the hit on the tire, but you're going to have to pay for the rim."
I like when the oil light goes on and they keep driving. So if nobody ever told you this, when the oil light goes on, it means stop right now. Do not drive home and ask somebody, hey, what does it mean when the oil light goes on in your dashboard?
Hold on.
My cousin,
Well, you ain't going to make it home anyway, so.
okay, everybody thought I was such a goody goody in high school because I did exactly what my dad said. If my dad said, you can go to your friend's house, you can go to the mall, and then you come home. I went to my friend's house, we went to the mall, I'd take them back to their house, and then I came home. Because damn if I didn't, something was going to happen, and I was going to have to call my father, and he was going to have to get up, and he was going to have to get out, and he was going to have to come to me. And that meant I was going to get an ass chewing like there's no tomorrow. So that's the Huck's luck. My cousin, Bonnie, she is about 16. She was going to her friend's house, which was about 2 miles away from her where they lived at in Conway. About 11:30 at night, my uncle got a phone call from Bonnie saying that the engine had something was wrong with the engine in her car, and she was over in North Myrtle Beach, which is a far piece of a drive. So he had to go get his he had to go get his wrecker because he had a garage and wrecker service and stuff, and he went to North Myrtle Beach, got the car. Well, he flipped it on to see what it did. She had run it without any oil. he, he was telling my dad. I said, Bonnie, was the goddamn light not red enough for you to know that you needed to stop? And she said, what light? Now, this girl has been around cars her whole life. But, so that's always been the joke about when we hear somebody running a car low on oil, and then it locks
Yeah.
the engine up is, was it not a red enough color for you? Was it still pink or something?
Yeah. Yeah, when
But
they say they need oil, you better stop and put oil in them.
Well, it means you got it's not low oil, it's no oil pressure. So you
Yeah.
probably got
Yeah.
a leak, a significant leak.
Oh, no, there was no oil in it.
Yeah.
And Bonnie said that was the longest hour and a half getting back to her house. Because my dad and my uncle, they would lecture you for hours and hours about something you did wrong. It's like, just go ahead and beat the hell out of me and get it over with, No, that wasn't going to happen. But my cousin says that he lectured her and he bitched all the way back to home.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like being bitched at by your parent.
Well, it was a case where she was not where she was supposed to be at. And that's what I told her. I said, Bonnie, you should know that something's going to go wrong if you're where you're not supposed to be at. And I was 3 years older than her. But something would go wrong if I was not where I was supposed to be at, and something went wrong. Oh God, you heard about it. So it was just easier on my nerves just to do what I was told. But my dad, Jim, this might be something you did. My dad would never, ever get a tow truck. If one of his trucks broke down, he had this about 8-foot pipe that was about 4 inches in diameter.
The old pipe.
Yep.
And a chain. And we would drag that vehicle back to where we needed to take it at with that chain and that pipe. And he never wanted to take his time. He was always in a damn hurry. You're back there like on the end of a 8-foot ski rope, trying to keep no power steering, trying to keep it in the road.
Yeah.
Well, I've done the pipe and the chain, but yeah, when I'm pulling or being pulled, I'm usually the one. I usually get in the car being pulled because I want to be the one controlling the brakes.
Right.
Like when we're coming to a stop, I'll stop the car towing me, so we don't, jam it, bend the pipe and jam into each other. But no, I like to ride like old people make love, slow and careful.
We just did some crazy shit. But it's good
Unless
times.
he's afraid to get caught.
Memories. What
I
are
don't know if
these?
it was legal for in Wisconsin. That's legal, but maybe he don't want to get picked up by the cops.
Uh, it used to be legal in South Carolina, but it's not anymore.
Mm.
I think a lot of places have outlawed that as being a hazard. Mr. Sadie
It's a
probably
hazard
did
for
that
the
kind of
truck, I
stuff
can tell you
too out
that.
there in Missouri.
Yeah, but if you go in a ditch up there, aren't you supposed to technically call the cops if they don't like to find you getting
Well, he
your
was
own
rolled over.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, my uncle had a record service, and he was down in Horry County, which is where Myrtle Beach is, and so during the summer he stayed busy all the time.
Well, when your dad helped you with that, not a Blazer, what the hell did you have? Ram Charger? Were you rolled over or just tipped
I
on
was
its
rolled
side?
over.
Oh, but you guys got it out, or did you get
No,
it?
no, he called a wrecker, and the guy, he said I got to call the cops. And my old man's arguing with him. He goes, no, 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 it's really just outside. He goes, no, Jim. He goes, it's part on the roof. I'm supposed to call it in. He goes, no, no, come on, just pull it out, just pull it out. The guy's name was Frankie Vero. Come on, Frankie, just pull it out. He's like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, we talked him into it.
That's my uncle was the same thing because he have a lot of these tourists coming down there and um, end up in a ditch or something like that, and he'd get there and because he was on rotation, and he would get out there and he'd say, "Well, we got to wait on the cops to get here," and they're like, "No, we don't need to wait on the cops." He says, "Who do you think called me and told me that I need to come out here and help you?" He says,
Oh,
"We have to wait for a
That's
cop
true.
to get here." And even if it was, like he was on one of the back roads and somebody went to a phone because this was before cell phones, or they called him on his CB radio and said, "I'm in the ditch. I need you to come pull me out." If the car was off the road, he had to call in to the sheriff's department or the
Yeah.
police department, highway department before he could hook up to it. And the reason was, people out there drinking and carrying
Yeah,
on.
make sure it wasn't a drunk driver.
Yeah. But down
I was almost sober. I wasn't drunk, but just stupid.
never call the fuzz. You gotta. Sometimes you have to call the fuzz.
Yeah.
Now, that's the way my old man saw it. That's what the tow truck driver felt too, but that's not the way my old man saw it.
I know.
I think he
My
might
dad
even
was
hit
bit-
his arm around in one of those things where he pulls you in with a big bear hug. You don't need to call anybody. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Yeah, it was way down. It went down, but it went on the snow. It slid down the hill in the snow, and then once it got to the bottom, it kind of got pinned on its side in between these two trees. So he had to pull it back about 6 feet before he could hook the cable on the bottom and then pull it so it was back on its tires.
My
So
uncle
anyway.
still had
Yeah,
his
because the
record
old man,
service
he's
when
like, "Oh, can we do it with a 4-wheel drive?" I'm like, I'm not an expert, Dad, but I don't think so. I'm like 16.
when I had my Jeep, my CJ, my uncle still had his record service, and I had gone down to my grandmother's house, which is right there at my uncle's place, and he came knocking on the door about 11:30 at night, and we were just about to go to bed, and he said, "Tommy, I need you to bring your Jeep and follow me." And we had to go. We went down this daggum country road, which was just nothing but sand. And in the best of times, in the best of, it's broad daylight. Some of these roads are treacherous because the sand is so soft, and
Mhm.
you drop down into like a trough and sling yourself off the road. So we went. I followed him down, and we literally had my Jeep chained to a big old oak tree, and the winch that was on the front of it hooked to the front bumper of a car, or front frame of a car, and he had his wrecker hooked to the back of it, and we had to unwrap that car from around an oak tree that they had hit, and it
Huh.
just wrapped that car around that oak tree. And I'm not too good on blood and stuff like that. Okay, I'm gonna just let you know that right now. And he went over. He went with the. There was two people in it, and they were both killed. And he went over with the highway patrol and looked at the car to decide what he was going to do. And he came back over there and he says, "Don't you get your ass out of this car."
Oh
he
yeah.
he said it is not a pleasant sight,
Yeah.
but it was pretty bad. But I made several calls with him, having to take my Jeep with me, or with following him with my Jeep, and we we had to winch a boat and a trailer out of the damn swamp because this guy was drunk and carrying on and started, that trailer started jackknifing and dancing back there, and he slung it off out into the middle of a swamp.
Huh.
So we had to drag it in, and he took the car or the truck that was pulling it because they had messed it up, and I pulled the boat back to his shop. And that's good
Was,
memories.
was, hey Tom, was that a PTO winch or was it electric winch?
It was just an electric winch.
Oh, okay. I know because some of those little Jeeps they had that PTO winch that worked pretty
Yeah.
good.
No, it was just a regular electric winch. And I never had a winch on my Jeep until I went down there one weekend, and he said, "I got something for your Jeep," and he mounted it on the front of it. And then he had to realign the front end because the weight of the winch on the front of it throws off the alignment of your vehicle, or it did back in them days. And so then he had to realign the front end because he had all that equipment. But yeah, it was just a regular old winch.
Hmm.
It was fun. I loved my Jeep, and we did stuff. My dad would have beat my ass if he had known that we did stuff with those Jeeps. Places we went with them, he would just he would have had a damn conniption fit. But they were so much fun.
Oh, Mr. Sadie says he needs you to help him replace the front end of his truck. Why'd you hit a deer too?
Not me.
Yeah, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Jim, somebody hit it. Didn't y'all hit
I
something?
did. I did. I took out the whole front end of that Lincoln. We went up to Indianapolis and bought the replacement parts, and last Saturday Jim put the car back together.
But I will say this: good news is the 2005 Lincoln Aviator is
Uh-huh.
such a pile of manure that you can put the new front end on in about 2 hours because it's all put together. There's like 4 bolts, and the rest of them are these plastic, like you push them in with your thumb. You take them out with a fork tool, where you pry them out, and then you just push them back in with your thumb. The fenders are plastic. They got these metal bars that come, or rods that come out to bolt them to the like unibody of the car. I mean, it's shameful. When I worked on that, the amount of crap that is in that automobile for what people pay for these cars. I mean, it is crap. I would call it tin crap, but it ain't even plastic crap. I mean, what are they paying? I mean, is it all pensions or I mean, advertising? When the hell does the money go to? Because I can tell you, it sure as hell doesn't go to making the automobile. Because I mean, that I was ashamed. For them, I was embarrassed for Ford. I gotta say, I'm like, this is ridiculous. That it's such a big piece of plastic junk.
Well, don't worry, Mr. Sadie. It's just control arms and ball joints. So
Yeah.
you can go help do that.
He said, "No, just potholes. I need upper and lower control arms and ball joints."
Ball joints are easy.
Mm.
Get yourself one of those. They're on eBay. Those ball joint vice kits. Because if you get one of those ball joint press they put with it, when you compress your you'll be using that to compress calipers instead of like people try to use a big channel locks or one of those wood C clamps. That clamp that comes with that ball joint press, man, that thing works sweet for squeezing calipers together or squeezing a piston back in a caliper.
No. He said he only lives 6 hours, so you can go up there and do a road trip up to Missouri.
If I'm going to drive 6 hours, I want to go to an amusement park, not work on a
That
car.
would be an amusement.
Yeah.
Car land.
Well, he's over there in St. Louis. You can go do the Gateway Arch and get mud. And,
I saw the Gateway Arch once. It wasn't that exciting. No offense.
Did you go up in it?
I didn't go up in it,
But
but
yeah,
yes,
I
I think you can.
Well, Amy was there,
Oh.
and I think she went up in it.
Oh.
I've been up in it.
I got spared the trip.
I didn't like that. Because you're sitting in little cars
Uh-huh.
that takes you up, and as you progressing around the arch, it adjusts so you're always sitting level. And I didn't like that because I don't like heights in the first place.
Sounds like a Ferris
I
wheel.
love to fly. I love to fly, but I'm not going to stand at the edge of a building and look out the big windows on the 30th floor. That just kind of freaks me out.
I don't fly.
I don't know. It's like those. You ever see those glass bridges that they have people walk on? I don't think I could do it.
Nah.
They'll have them like by the Grand Canyon where you walk out on this, like glass, overlook thing. I don't think I could do it.
Somebody drops their keys, they crack the glass. Everybody.
Well, they have those like I don't think they have them in the U.S., but like in Asia, they have them where they have like they must be like some kind of smart screen where they start cracking and people will be like cats on a roof, like ah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just I think it's in Asia. There's these people walk like they're walking up to a plate glass window, and you're like on the 50th floor of a building, and then it starts tilting out.
Oh, those things, yeah.
So you're
I think
you're
they have
laying
those in the
looking.
U.S. Yeah, I'm not sure they don't have one of those in Chicago.
That might
You
have
go
been
up
where it
to
was
the
at.
window, and they have like handles so you can hang on to it, and
Yeah.
then they have like hydraulics, and the windows go out like this, so you get this like panoramic downward view
Yeah.
of the
No.
cityscape.
No
No freaking way. Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a little hokey amusement park by Eagle River. It's called Pleasure Island. Well, anyway, they had a spook house where you'd walk out on this platform, and it had a metal bar at the end. When you walked up, when you just got to the metal bar, that would tilt the balance, and that thing would drop about a foot. And you'd hold on to that metal handle for dear life because the first time you don't expect it. And even when you know it's coming, it was still scary because it felt like that thing wasn't going to stop, that trapdoor was just going to drop and you were going to fall to, into this dark pit or whatever. Where they got a stupid monster with a rubber mask laughing at you or something, lights up and laughs or whatever. It's a fun house. But anyway, yeah, that scared the heck out of me. I'm not not going on some glass thing off a tall building.
We had a ride here at Carowinds called the Oaken Bucket, which is one of those things that spin around, and he's in the
living room.
The centrifugal force holds you up against the floor, the wall, and you can scooch around until you're upside downwards and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a vomitron.
Yeah.
It's like the gravitron.
The first time I ever got on that thing, they said, "Now the floor is going to drop out."
Yeah.
And so I'm getting in there, and I'm like, "Oh my God." The floor is going to drop out, and you're going to be able to see dirt at the bottom of it. And of course, it drops straight down 2 feet. But I was kind of tripping out over that. But they ended up taking that
gravitron. The floor would drop, but when you stood against a wall, they were like these things. Like I I'll call them like auto creepers. And remember, they would slide up while you went fast. You'd slide up on the board.
Yeah, then I was afraid, am I going to go out the top of this thing? Yeah,
Right out the
I
top.
hated that thing.
Yeah, I was always worried somebody's gonna tip their head and puke and spray me with puke.
And about every third time you go on it, there'd be a puker on it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! One time I was at the Vilas County Fair up north. This was when I was a kid, and they had that. It's not exactly like a Ferris wheel. They call it the zipper. It's real long like this, and it has cages, and then they spin around.
Oh, I see that.
It goes up.
It goes on
Okay.
like a zigzag thing. Or
Yeah,
path.
Or it goes up, and they spin around. Well, somebody lost it, upchucked on it, and all the carnies do is they
Next.
spin it. Next, go
Next
in the
victim.
puke car. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we won't be doing that. I just Googled it. No,
Why?
No, I don't think so.
no.
Why
That's
have
like
you
there's
found
this,
a
there's
current
this roller
tattoo
coaster.
that the
There's
others
a
have
roller
weren't
coaster that is like you've got the main car. You've got the main the main track, the piece that's attached to the track, and then there's like a bar that comes across, and on the end of each bar is where you sit at. There's like 3 or 4 seats on each side.
Mhm.
So while you're doing the up and down and loopy loops for the roller coaster, these things are spinning all the time just because of the force of gravity and whatnot. And
Yep.
I'm thinking to myself, I will puke all over somebody on that one.
No, I don't do spinny, circly, spinny rides anymore.
I just go to I like to look at the poultry barn. If
Eat
I'm like
some-
at a fair where
Eat
they got
some cobs of corn.
yeah, go to the beer tent and listen to the country music.
You talking about at the fairs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do carnival rides.
Because that's where most of these rides was at the fair.
Right.
It smells like diesel. You get high on diesel exhaust, and you eat some food that makes you sick to your stomach. Then you go to the beer tent.
And there's always some kid that is eating too much because their parents couldn't say, no, Trevor, you can't have any more cotton candy. You've had 3 candied apples and all that kind of stuff.
Now
that
go
ends
spin
up
around
puking
on
all
these
over
spinning
everything.
rides for an
Wait,
hour
Todd.
and then throw
Or
up.
Tom, I mean, Tom,
What?
do you realize when the kid eats like 10 candy apples, just make him go on the roller coaster
Oh, okay.
or like the spinny thing?
Yeah, then you got a puking kid.
The Vomitron.
That's the
Put him on the
reason.
gravitron.
That's the reason I like to ride at the front of
Yeah,
rides because
people
if somebody's gonna
go
throw up, it's going to go.
All time
Everybody in the
covered
back.
out, and yeah.
Dang, he sounds like he's about 15, 16 now.
He is. He is 15.
Is he 15?
No.
Yep.
Damn, we've been hanging together a long time.
Yeah, he's got pork chop sideburns, little pencil mustache, hair in his pits.
He's taller than his dad. He weighs 207 pounds.
Yeah, I saw the picture. That's the one I said. Who's the ugly kid standing beside Brandon?
He's weighing himself right now.
Mine's broken.
No, just reach your
No.
around behind it and just move the wheel a little bit. I don't know why it's catching on something. Something must have fell in there.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like.
So what's your weight?
205, 206. So how?
Oh, we lost a pound.
Oh, he lost a
He went
pound.
from 207 to 206.
How dare you, Mom, infer my weight?
Dang.
Fat phobic right now.
yeah. Mr. Sadie, Brandon used to be that little cute kid that would harass his dad when he was trying to do the
Yeah, no, now he's a big man.
videos.
That harasses his
Yeah,
dad.
he harasses his dad.
Hey, Mom,
Now he's taller than his
I
dad.
need to lose some weight, so can I go on the Gravitron?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be anorexic, but
He reminds me of that Bam Margera
who's Bam Margera?
kid who used to pick on his dad like you pick on me.
Yeah, it won't be too much longer and he'll be wanting something to drive, so you need to get one of them CJs down there.
Yeah. No, my Jim's got an Oldsmobile. What is it, an 88 or a 98? I think it's a 98. That's what he wants to drive.
It's a 98. I mean, it's a 19.
It's not. It's not.
1984.
It's a 1984 Olds 98. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
one of the.
Has he got a big back seat, Brandon?
Yeah, well, now he's in the shower, but yeah, it's a 4-door.
That's what he wants. He wants a car with a big back seat.
Yeah, that's just what he
For
really
them
needs. No,
Amish
I think I'm
girls.
gonna get him a nice Chrysler 200 or something.
Nah, those are small. The 300s is the full size. The 200s are the small ones.
Yeah, I want something that ain't gonna go fast. I'm not gonna give him a truck so he's got it out in the fields going mudding in it.
Why not?
Maybe I'll give him a smart car or something.
Oh yeah. They'll laugh and make fun of him.
I told him he can drive my Volkswagen Bug, but he don't want to.
Why not?
I don't know. He says he doesn't like it. It's too girly.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a girl car.
It's blue. It's not like it's like pink or anything.
The
Yeah, it's got a
98
flower holder.
But he don't know that.
What model did you say that 98 was?
No, it's a 1984 Olds 98. That's what it is. Or it's a 98, right?
Yeah.
That's what the model is.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to get the Delta 88. This would be the 98 Regency or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a Regency 98. It's a 4-door, big old 4-door, grandma's old Oldsmobile type car.
It's that's a tank.
Yeah. It's got the big long hood, you know.
If one of your trucks gets stuck, he can pull up behind it and just push it out.
Mhm.
That's when they made cars. All right, it's 10:20. I need to go to bed. I've been up since 5:30 this morning.
Yeah, I agree, Mr. Sadie.
Were they
Where's
the
the
yellow
shotgun?
ones?
I don't know. You have the shotgun.
There's a big balloon out there.
Oh, it's a big balloon. Oh, get the rifle. The shotgun might not be able to shoot that high.
First I thought it was the moon, but then I said there ain't two moons up there.
I heard those balloons are over Missouri. They might be up by Mr. Sadie's house.
Yeah, the Chinese ones.
Yeah, it's not in Montana anymore, but I heard it's like in northwest Missouri or something.
Well, I told Tara,
It's headed for Mr. Sadie. Watch out.
Tara told me about it. I said, well, then why don't just, if the government won't shoot it down, why does the citizens? It ain't supposed to be here. Shoot it. There ain't no people.
Yeah, it said it's like
But
80,000 feet
yeah.
up in the air. It's right now. It's higher than commercial air traffic. Jim, there ain't no gun you own that shoots that
But
high.
I should be able to. That's ridiculous. This is the government's fault for not letting me have a howitzer.
Yeah.
Right, what are you gonna be like, Tom Cruise and Top Gun, flying out on your big fire, shooting this thing down?
Oh, well, I get a SpaceX, put a warhead on it.
Elon Musk will save us. Yeah, run the 12 gauge. Put a slug in it. Maybe it can go farther.
I don't think over 6-shot bird
Yeah, I
shot.
don't think birdshot's gonna do it. You better use a slug.
Yeah, they. You probably need to add a little something to it.
Yeah.
Maybe go get a rocket launcher or something of that sort.
But it's big. I mean, because they said the surveillance equipment it's carrying is like the size of 3 buses.
They are buses. They got little school kids with cameras. They all got Nikons.
You know, I would think you'd want to go up and retrieve that kind of stuff. You know, if there's a way to do it.
I don't know. Yeah, put it.
Do we
Like
not have
bring
some
it
big
down.
old-
Well, instead of shooting it down, maybe they could get like a hook or something and just hook it and bring it down.
Well, Tara said, what they're worried about it crashing into people. Well, just let it get off the Atlantic seaboard and then just let it crash in the ocean and go retrieve it. But what I think is they're afraid they're going to tick China off, so they don't want to do it. So if you're Taiwan, guess what your chances are when you get invaded?
it is a Chinese balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Chinese admitted it.
And there might be another one coming because there's like Canada said there's another one.
Oh my God! Though, what if it's a spaceship coming late for those guys who did the purple, who were in the purple blankets?
Oh
or whatever?
yeah, that'd be spooky.
Those guys in California with that
Yeah, the
moon girl around?
Nikes and the purple blankets. We're waiting for Haley's Comet.
Maybe they get the things on
They
schedule.
thought they were gonna ride on Haley's Comet, but they didn't know it was actually just gonna be a Chinese spy balloon.
Yeah. Same thing.
Same thing.
I was watching something on TikTok or Reels or one of them. It was a feed, and and it was one of the late night people talking to Barack Obama, and he said, the late night host. I don't know who he is. He said, if I was president, the first thing I would do is I'd go find all the files on Area 51, and I would know what's going on, and I would tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Barack said, and that's the reason you'll never be president.
Yeah.
And the guy said, well, Donald Trump said that he was going to go look at all those files when he became president, but he never said anything. And Barack said, that's because he was president. It's on a need to know information, it's need to know. And he asked Barack if he had watched or read any of the files. He said, that's on a need to know basis. He did not give any answers on that at all.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff they're privy to that they don't tell the general public.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like Chinese weather balloons that are just off course.
Well, then they shouldn't be too concerned if they send a couple of F-18s or whatever up there.
I know, that's what I thought at first, but the problem is they can't shoot. They say that because the debris field would be so big if they shot them down, because
Well,
it's such a big apparatus.
And I guess Biden's first reaction was, yeah, we should shoot it down. And then you got Milley in that Austin talks him out of it. But we don't elect those guys. Well, I didn't vote for them, but people voted. The democratic process possibly played out, and Biden became president. He's the one he's a democratically elected person. He should be the one calling those shots, not these
bureaucrats.
Yeah, they're bureaucrats.
He's
got to shoot that thing down for America.
Yeah.
For America.
Yeah.
If you're going to say it right, America.
America.
All right.
I want to see that thing on fire like fireworks.
Come on now. Shoot that dadgum balloon.
It looks like they would have something that they could fire off one of those fighters that would like incinerate it once, when it would get hot. But they probably don't. Yeah. They're probably afraid they don't know what's inside of it. There could be some nuclear powered.
Probably COVID inside of it, and they're worried if they blow it up, it'll spread new COVID all over half the country. It's straight from Wuhan, loaded with bat viruses.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's full of bats.
It's full of bats.
With cameras.
Spy bats that have disease-ridden spy bats.
Joking aside, though, because I'm getting all these things from China asking me, because we have acreage, about our, what's your farming like? Would you like to buy more farmland? Would you like to invest in farmland? Would you like to sell your farmland? And it's all if it's from China. It says it's from China. Right. So I'm wondering if this thing isn't like some big survey thing. Like they're running a bunch of cameras surveying our farmland.
Mm.
Shopping
Google,
for new
Google China.
I don't know. Yeah, what is it? I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Stady, I'm with you on that Hellfire Lock and Load, boy.
It's acreage acquisitions or something.
Yeah.
Because they had this they suck in. It's like, would you like to map your farm area? I'm like, yeah, sure. So you go on it. It's got like topographical maps. It's got what kind of soil you got. It's got all these details on your land, and then it slowly lets you know we're from we're from China and we're interested in agriculture and what something like
why ain't interested in agriculture.
Yeah, they're interested in taking my farmland.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if they
y'all coming in here tonight,
they pay enough money, of course they'll sell it, but I think they're cheap.
I got to go to bed.
All right, go to bed, Tom.
It's been a late, long day. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for coming in and chat for a
Yeah,
while.
no problem.
It was fun.
It is.
We had nothing going on.
We can keep it going.
No, it's okay. It's 10:30.
We're not
Everyone
like Todd
did
Scott.
trouble.
We're not like Todd and Scott. You know, it kind of has those low spells. We can keep it going with some kind of bullshit. So anyway, thanks for coming in. Everybody in the chat that's still in the chat, y'all, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. And we'll see you later. Bye
Good
bye.
night. Bye.